Have you ever met someone and then when they speak, you know immediately that they're from a certain part of the country based on either an accent or a dialect, or maybe they use certain words that you only hear in one part of the country? I met someone yesterday, and based on one word, I said, "Are you from Northern California?" And she's like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And I was like, "'Cause she said this one word." Can you guess what that one word was?
From Northern California.
Yeah, and what's a word that you only hear in certain parts of the country, or a phrase? I know that in Colorado, we used to call soda, we'd call it pop. Like, "I'm gonna have a pop." And everyone was like, when I would leave Colorado, were like, "Oh, what? You mean a Coke?" Well, the Coke is if you're from the southern part of the country, because they called everything carbonated Coke. Like, "I'm gonna get a Coke. What kind do you want?" "A Sprite." "Okay." Like, it was always a Coke. And then there's soda, which is what I say now. I say soda, but growing up, it was always pop. So what was that Northern California word? And I know it's used in Southern California, but I always equate it with Northern California.
Holla.
No, but you're closer than you would think.
Oh, really?
Yes. Steph, do you know what it is?
Is it hella?
Yes!
Hella.
She kept saying hella. Like, "Oh
Yep.
my gosh, I love your jacket. It's hella cool. Oh my gosh, I was hella late yesterday because," and then I finally go, "You from Northern California?" She's like, "Yes. How'd you know?" Like, 'cause you keep saying hella. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I know. I always say that. I don't even realize I'm saying it anymore. I'm sorry." I'm like, "Don't say sorry. I love it. I think it's so endearing."
It's hella tight.
Yeah, it's hella tight. And so, yeah, that was the word. And always when I hear someone say that, I'm like, "You must be from NorCal." Nice, nice. I like it.
And some people shed these accents when they move away or they've been in a certain city a long time. For Pennsylvania, it's instead of water, it's wooder. And Laura, my wife, she still says wooder. She'll be at a restaurant. She's like, "Oh, can I get a glass of wooder?" And they're like, "What? Wooder, water." I think because I moved here much younger than she was when I moved to Las Vegas, I think I lost that. And when I go back, there's that Philly dialect, that the way the guys talk, and wooder, and you know, Eagles, but I feel like it comes out from time to time. But I've been gone for so long that I've since shed it out, like you with pop and everything else.
What is the regional dialect or the word that you know that it comes from a certain part of the country, maybe part of the world, when people say things like, when I know someone's from New York or even Boston, when they substitute the letter T for the letter D. So it's like, "I'm going to the game," or I'm like, "Oh, are you from New York?"
Yeah.
"Yeah." "How'd you know?" I was like, "Oh, because you say duh instead of tuh or the." It's always, I know that. My friends from New York, they're always like, "Yeah, we're going down to the, the club," or whatever. And it's like, "Okay, yeah, you're my New York friend."
Instead of that's duh.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah.
T-A instead of
Uh-huh.
T-H-E. Yeah, always. And it's kinda with your "woulda" thing, woulda,
Mm-hmm.
instead of water, woulda. I hear that big time. Um, what else? The lollipops versus suckers.
Oh, I'm lollipops.
I used to say suckers growing up. Now I'm lollipops. Lightning bugs versus fireflies.
Lightning bugs.
I say fireflies. Um, grocery carts or buggies.
I think buggy's the West Coast thing. Grocery carts back east.
I say buggies. Subs or hoagies.
That's what I was gonna get to. Growing up, I was hoagies, and then I get out here, people are like, "A hoagie?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, Subway sandwich, a sub, please." I'm hoagies. You?
Subs. Tennis shoes or sneakers.
Sneakers.
I'm sneakers. A lot of these I've changed though. I grew up saying tennis shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, always said tennis shoes. It's funny how certain words are so different, and you can just tell when people are from a certain part. How's it from Domino? He's like, "How's it is Hawaii." Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. They're
Yeah.
like, "How's it?" I'm like, "How's what?"
I have a friend in New Zealand who does radio, and he got a listener complaint. I don't know, Mercedes, if you can hear me. Her audio is probably off. Let me see. I'll wait till JC gets back. This is a funny complaint. JC, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have a friend in New Zealand who does radio, and he said he got a complaint from a listener, and it's an email saying, this email is regarding your on-air host so-and-so. He replayed the song The Show by Niall Horan at 6:30 a.m. and then he played it again at 9:54 that same day. I believe this is a breach in broadcasting standards, and I'm strongly considering reporting it to the New Zealand Broadcasting Authority.
What the heck?
It would be great if you could respond swiftly and appropriately.
Good thing you just listen to this station.
Oh my God. That's plenty of time in between, though.
Yeah.
6:30, 7:30, 8:30. That's 3 hours.
More than 3 hours, right?
Yeah, 3.5. Oh, that's hilarious. Let me report it to the authorities because I have nothing else better to do.
I imagine they could probably get some bizarre complaints too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jan, that Salt and Straw opened. That is awesome. I love Salt and Straw.
What's Salt and Straw restaurant?
Ice cream.
Mm.
My first one was in Portland, and then they made one in San Diego. I tried it there. They were both so good. Oh, and we tried it on the for Try It Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah. Is Zippy's a franchise?
Yes.
Have you had it before?
No, I can't wait.
That thing like popped up overnight.
I pass it every day coming here.
You take Bedora?
Mm-hmm. Because I exit Rainbow.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we tried Salt and Straws Thanksgiving flavors. Caramelized turkey and cranberry sauce. Oh yeah, I remember putting those together because we had like 5 or 6 flavors, and I had to make times 3 of them.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
Looking like Cold Stone. I don't remember what they tasted like. I think I liked the cheesecake one.
Steph, could you have the Star Wars bed in there, please?
Yeah.
Get a grass in there. You put the all the feud stuff too, elements.
Yeah. I was thinking about the show yesterday, and I realized I feel like I hit you pretty hard yesterday when I
No,
did
it's
the.
soft.
Are you sure the one on the head? The first one.
No, it's very soft. I was expecting it to be harder.
Okay.
I was thinking about that yesterday too. I'm like, oh, she really should have whacked me. Or what other items can we use that you get pie face if you get it wrong? Because that was fun to
Yeah.
really turn up the intensity of that game.
So I'm looking into Zippy's. This is going to be the first restaurant outside of Hawaii. This location. That's awesome.
Of Zippy's?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty big.
It's the Daily Dirt with Mercedes in the morning on Mix 94.1.
Well, another week, another scandal rocking HBO's new series, The Idol. So this is the series that's led by The Weeknd. It's faced multiple criticisms in its short run. Episode 3 just dropped this past weekend. But a joke in this last episode has taken things a little bit too far for a lot of people. Viewers were outraged following a joke by Eli Roth's character that seems to make light of victims of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I'm trying to find out what the joke was. I watched it, but the joke must have just gone over my head here.
Did you do the whole episode?
I just read the joke. Wow. That's a joke. That's disturbing.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I can't believe that. I was probably so disgusted already watching it that I had tuned out at that point. But yeah, I'm done with that show. It's so bad. It's just so disturbing. I can't even handle it.
I don't think this is sitting well for The Weeknd. We talked about it before. I just think this looks bad on him as well because
Yeah.
he's one of the creators. I know he's acting in it, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll be back for season 2. We'll find out. We're waiting on this week's Billboard charts. They were delayed because of the holiday, but one of the biggest movers on the charts is Luke Combs and his cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. This one right here.
So I remember when we were driving in your car, speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights lit.
He's number 4 in the charts last week. Now, Tracy is the song's sole writer and owns the publishing rights. So how much has she made off of Luke's cover so far? $500,000 according to Billboard.
That's good. I like that it's bringing back this song to a new generation, or if that you were alive when that song came out and didn't appreciate it at the time, I appreciate it so much more. I'll be honest, I did not like the song when I heard it when I was younger because I thought it was boring, but now I actually listen to the words. I'm like, this is a really great song.
Yeah, great sounding one. I think about in 1988 is when the original one came out. Well, speaking of songs that kind of like a resurgence, this one from Taylor Swift. During her concert in Pittsburgh, Taylor expressed her surprise at the popularity of the song Cruel Summer. This was on her 2019 album, Lover. Swift said that Cruel Summer was intended to be a single from the Lover album, but its release was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So the song has experienced a resurgence in popularity, and Swift described it as a magical and unexpected occurrence. And she announced that due to the high streaming numbers, her label has decided to release Cruel Summer as her newest single.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. I thought that was so cool. I love how she said that when the album came out, Lover, that song was her pride and joy, is what she said. She's like, this was my favorite song off the album. So she was so sad when it didn't come out. And I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, this is the best song on this album. And I was really shocked it didn't do anything. And now that it's coming back, I'm so happy.
And you were calling it. I think it's going to be, like you said a couple weeks ago, it's probably one of the songs of the summer.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Okay, it's trivia time right now.
Okay.
We'll do this Family Feud style. You don't have to be a Star Wars fan or even see a single movie to be able to recite some of its most memorable quotes. Some of those lines from the Star Wars movies are just so famous. Well, The Hollywood Reporter ranked 20 of the most well-known quotes from Star Wars. I've got the top 5 on the board.
The top 5 quotes from Star Wars?
Star Wars. Take any guesses at these top 5 quotes from Star Wars?
I would guess well, I'm not it's not exact. I was going to say Luke, I am your father, but that's not actually the quote. It is no, I am your father.
With the Darth Vader read, show me no, I am your father. Number 5.
5?
Number 5, yeah.
I thought that would be number 1.
No. And kudos to you for getting that right, too, because in the movie, it's not Luke, it's just no.
Yeah, it's because he's answering the question. But we all have changed it to Luke, I am your father.
That shows your expertise of Star Wars. But that's number 5, though, Mercedes. Top 4 still on the board.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Number 1.
Okay,
Yeah, number
that
1.
makes sense.
You got 2, 3, and 4. If you need lifelines, you can call in as a lifeline. But the way you're cruising right now, let's see what else you got. 2, 3, and 4 left on the board.
Oh, I know the Han Solo Leia one. It's like, I love you. I know. That one?
Show me. I love you. I know.
Yeah. Okay. What number?
That was number 4. Holy smokes, we got 3 and then 2 left on the board. These are the best, according to the Hollywood Reporter, most memorable quotes from Star Wars. 2 and 3 left on the board.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to our 7 a.m. social club right now because I'm
You're
blanking.
turning some lifelines.
Kelly says, is the number 1 answer the Chewbacca sound? Arr, arr. I can't even do it.
Chewbacca sound is not in the top
It's
10,
not?
so you get a strike on that one, you guys. First strike on the board, Mercedes.
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Do you want me to give you one more of these? Like, do you want to give you 2 or 3 or?
give me 3.
3 is hello there from A New Hope in Revenge of the Sith.
Hello there. I
that-
don't even remember.
Is that Obi-Wan Kenobi? Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So, okay,
So
that means
we're
number
going
2.
really like just general, right?
This next one has been used in every movie since. So it's a
Every
very popular.
movie
Yeah,
it's been used.
it was used in. I'll give you. It was used first in A New Hope. So that was the first Star Wars. Technically, that was released, right?
Yeah.
That was
A New Hope is
In
the first one.
'77 or where the first one was released. Yeah. So this is from the very first release of a Star Wars movie.
Who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
Well, that's a deep one, but that's not the one.
No, it's probably not been said in everyone either. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Oh, Princess Leia. That's 3 strikes.
Ah!
Oh,
Try not. Do or do not. There is no try. I mean, try not. Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah?
no.
No?
I have a bad feeling about this.
About what?
That's the answer.
Oh. I have a bad feeling about this? When do they say that? And that's in every movie?
Well, I have a bad feeling about this. It says yes from A New Hope, but this one has also been used in every movie since.
From Han Solo.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay, I've got a bad. I remember that one. I've got a bad feeling about this.
So we can just do one song here, keep us on time. That's very impressive.
Wow, it's been a while since I watched a Star Wars movie. Although I did go on Rise of the Resistance when I went to Disney.
Well, technically, if you didn't use your lifeline from the social club, you would only had 2 strikes. It could be something for later. But I think we maybe did something like this, but I don't know if you saw it. That stuff that people born before 1990 was in one of the things today.
Yeah, I had that.
There was some of the stuff was total flashback.
I was gonna do it in Hot 3, but
Hot
we
3?
could do it. We can do it here. It's fine.
We'll jump on here after this song then.
I found something in it over the weekend, and I haven't seen one of these forever, and I'm tempted to take care of it, but I don't know where to go. It's a film canister, and there was a roll of film in it. I don't know what's on there, but I found it in a drawer I was cleaning out. I'm like, what is this? And it's actually a film canister with a roll of film in it. Where do I go to develop film?
Yeah, they don't have the 1 hour photo hut in the
No.
parking lot of grocery stores anymore. I think side note, I think Walgreens does, because I was at Walgreens getting a print a couple weeks ago, like a poster print, and they had like film drop off still at Walgreens.
Oh, wow.
But you gotta do that. We gotta see when's the last time you used film in a camera?
I can't, and it was in my drawer, so it's mine from my camera. It's not something of Matt's. He would have his own stuff, and I keep thinking like, okay, I did have a digital camera back in the day. Well, no, was it called the digital camera?
No, digital.
Now they're digital
Yeah,
cameras. So it was like a film. It wasn't the kind though. It was like it was like self-forwarding. You know what I
The
mean?
35 millimeter, you put the film in it. Did you have to pull it out, the film, and kind of attach it to the other side? And then when
No.
you shut the thing, it rolled itself?
I pushed it into a container,
Mhm.
and then it did that all automatically. So now I'm really curious as to what's on there, but that's just like, I showed it to my daughter and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's film." And she's like, "What?" And I had to explain the whole process to her. She thought it was fascinating because, that's 90s era, man. We don't know that in the 2023s here. That's kind of funny.
That's a 90s era skill that you still possess, loading film in a camera.
Yeah, I just want to find that camera and I wonder if there's any more film. What are other like pre-90s skills that are kind of obsolete? They don't really. Oh, Patricia, it's 35 millimeter. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. What are other things that are like that where you don't really need this skill anymore, but it's something you might still have?
Remembering phone numbers. Because this morning I couldn't find my cell phone for like maybe 10 minutes. It was in my bag. I just couldn't find it. But I'm thinking this morning, okay, if I can't find my phone, I can still call my wife. I know her phone number. And then my parents' home line. But outside of that, I know your home line still, Mercedes, but I don't know your cell phone number. I don't know Steph's. I don't know my mom's, my dad's, my friends. I don't know anyone's cell phone number. None of our coworkers, people that I call and text all the time. I do not know one single phone number. 90s, I knew them all of them.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even know my kids' phone numbers. Every time I have to fill out a form that has their number, I have to ask them every time, "What's your phone number again?" They're like, "Why are you not able to remember it?" I'm like, "I don't know. You're on my favorites on my phone. That's about all I got."
That's right. It was a skill. That was a 90s skill, though, where you'd have like 10, 15, maybe 20 phone numbers, all your friends' phone numbers memorized up there.
One thing they can do that's a 90s skill that you probably don't see very often anymore is both of them can write cursive. And I'm glad they were taught cursive. I don't see any use for it, but it just makes me feel better that they at least know how to read it and write it.
When's the last time you wrote in cursive?
I
Oh,
only write in cursive.
Really?
I only write in cursive. It's so bizarre to me that people only print nowadays, but everything I write is in cursive. Although my cursive it's not so cursive-y that you cannot understand what I write.
I'm holding something. Oh, you can't see it on the 7 a.m. social club.
What the orc fool? How are far? How are far?
No, how are
Four.
you? How are you?
Oh my gosh, your cursive is horrendous.
It's been 20 some years, maybe longer, 30 years. I can't tell you the last time. I think I stopped writing cursive. We had to use it in elementary school. And then when I got to junior high school and went to the public school system, because I was Catholic school for the first 8 years, when I got to public school, we didn't have to do cursive. So bye-bye cursive. I've been printing ever since.
I only write cursive. I think I'm the last person out there. What about I saw a TikTok the other day and they were making fun of kids who cannot read a map and cannot fold a map. And I'm thinking, well, they don't need to. Why would they need to? And where do you even get maps anymore?
Yeah, they still. Yeah, what do they have? Because if you had AAA growing up, I remember like my friends. We didn't have it growing up, but friends were like they would go to like the AAA store and say, "Oh, we're driving to Utah this summer," and they'd give them maps and everything else, and so they'd start their trip with like 3 or 4 different maps and unfold it and map things out and then fold it up very neatly when they were done.
Have you ever paid cash for something and they could not figure out how much change to give you? I that's happened to me before, where maybe I give like I don't know. So let's say the total is 991 and I give them 1001 just to get a dime back because I don't want a bunch of pennies. And they're like, why did you give me 1001? It was 991. 10 is fine. And I'm like, no, I want the time back. Like they can't do the math in their head. And in their defense, I probably wouldn't be able to either. But it's just so funny to me.
I wonder how it shows up on the cash register if someone does pay for cash. Does it say 35 cents is the change, or does it literally show the person grab 1 quarter, grab 1 dime, and give it back to the person?
I don't know. This is probably why I don't carry cash anymore,
so
because
much
I got
easier.
so tired of waiting on that.
Yeah, a 90s skill, carrying cash and carrying change and everything. You carry change around all the time. It was crazy.
I know.
Hot Three's up next. What do you got for us?
Okay, we are going to talk this morning about what people consider being in debt. What is that number when you think, yeah, I carry a lot of debt? That is on the way. Also, speaking of something from back in the day that we don't see a lot anymore is shopping malls. Why did people stop going to shopping malls? Just because they could buy it online? How many of us actually miss the shopping malls? That is on the way. And we're going to talk about the number one way to sound smarter when you're making small talk. All of that is coming up next in the Hot 3.
Wake up to Vegas's best variety of the 90s, 2000s, and now. It's Mercedes in the morning.
I don't know if we also want to tease. Around this time tomorrow, we're going to be out doing the shirts. If we have time, maybe during the hot 3 or the top of the 8.
I think she uses a lower John Bar bed, which is nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, comes in hot.
It still comes in hot?
John Bar. No, like I know what you mean. Like he will come in. Like,
Yeah, the one Mitch uses
John
comes in
Bar.
super hot. Oh, here it comes. Fast car.
You're listening to Mercedes in the Morning on Mix 94.1.
Have you heard that AI DJ before?
No, that was my first time hearing it, and I laughed.
What's that?
Talking about the AI Ashley.
Yeah.
I just laughed when I heard the Taylor Swift winner.
Yeah.
I was like,
No energy.
seriously? That's why they're called personalities, because they have one.
You won.
There's this couple that's going viral on, and I wouldn't say go viral, but their video kind of blow up because they tried that 75 hard diet that you did.
Oh, yeah.
And their transformation, here, I'll send you the video, JC. It is like new people. And I feel like this is a gym in San Diego I know of.
That they did the program there?
Yeah, or worked out at.
You have to work out twice a day. And one of those workouts has to be outside for 45 minutes. And that outdoor one just be walking or something, but there's going to be a second workout that's 45 minutes outside. So a lot of people
Wow.
work out in the morning, do something else, and they just go for like a long walk or something at night for 45 minutes to get it. And then you have to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to do some kind of diet. And it can be anything, just whether you cut out sugars or I'm no longer eating potato chips, whatever works for you.
Huh.
And then no alcohol, and you have to read 10 pages of a motivational book per day.
Wow.
You do it for 75 days. Yeah, I've seen some of the transformations are pretty insane.
Yeah. Even just no sugar. You can eat French fries. You can eat burgers. Just no sugar.
The diet can be whatever you want. Like, so when
Wow.
I did it, my diet was very, very simple. It was just no sweets after dinner. I used to always have, like, my knickknack. I would have cookies or
Mhm.
candy or just something sweet after dinner. So my diet was simple. It was like, no, after dinner, no sweets. And that was my diet. It can be whatever works for you. No chips if that's your thing, or, if you eat a foot long Subway for lunch every day, maybe it's a 6-inch. You just got to make some kind of tweak in your diet.
Wow. And you said it's for 75 days. That's why it's called 75 hard.
Yeah, 75 days.
Was that
I
like
tried it
2.5?
a couple times and failed miserably. I was able to do it during the pandemic because I had
You're
more
like,
time
"I
to focus on it and work
Yeah.
out outside.
That's very interesting.
There's like the guy's a whole book on it. You don't need the whole book. You literally just go to his Instagram page and see how to do it. But it's a cool program. Did you send me the thing?
I didn't on Instagram. Sorry.
No. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Dang. Holy smokes.
Would you ever do your workouts? Like if you didn't get your first workout on, would you just do 2 back to back?
Yes. And they say you're supposed to spread them out. The biggest thing was like I remember doing like the outdoor like run and walk and stuff like late at night a couple times. Something's going on. And I remember running at like 9:30 at night, which was okay because during the pandemic we were working from home the next morning, so it wasn't as bad as having to come to the office.
That's true.
But it's funny, I'd finished it, and it was right around the time where restrictions were lifted. So we had booked a staycation at Encore, and we had dinner, and after dinner I had so many sweets, I threw up that night. My stomach wasn't used to having sweets and everything else.
Oh boy.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's time for the Hot 3 on Mix 94.1.
The Hot 3, it's brought to you by Legacy AC. Visit them at legacyac.com.
Now, according to a new study, the average adult does not consider themselves to be in debt until they owe $59,937.31. The study into financial behavior of adults showed that the majority have a worrying, lackadaisical approach to borrowing and owing money. 37% of those people polled admit that if they can't afford to buy something, they usually find a way of getting it anyway. And on average, people rely on their credit cards to see them through the whole month. And usually have a balance of at least $4,000 of debt to pay, while a third of those in this poll say they spend much of the month in their overdraft. It is only when the debt reaches a peak of almost $60,000 that people suddenly start to panic. Researchers found that the average person dips into their overdraft less than halfway through the month.
Yeah, so $59,000. What was it like for you when you got into college? Were you frugal in college, or were you signing up for any credit card that was thrown your way? And did you kind of start a negative spiral from the start?
I didn't do every credit card. I just did one, and I did my open to buy was only like $300. That was my credit limit. So I mean, I had zero credit. So that went like after 2 days, and then I didn't realize I had to pay it back so quickly, which in my mind a month was quick, and so I didn't have any income, and that ended up getting me into a little bit of trouble after that, because then I started writing checks. And I knew in my mind, I don't have the money to cover this, but it got me through temporarily. And that was a whole big mess. I had to take out a loan through the credit union at my school with my dad, and he refused to co-sign for me. He refused, but he made me go. And yeah, that was just a mess.
That was the thing in college. I signed up for every single, even department store ones, Macy's, Dillard's, signed up for all of them. And just same thing. My first semester in college, I was just focused on school. I did my first semester without working, and I had a little money saved up when I moved here to Las Vegas, but that was gone. Do a couple odds and ends jobs to try to make some money. And then I started working after that first semester and was able to get a little handle on it. But you start off right out of the chute with those credit cards piled on top of you, and it's hard to get out from underneath it.
Yeah, don't open credit cards. That's just my solid advice to
Yeah.
anyone. Also this morning, remember when going to the mall was the best possible way to spend your Saturday? If it seems like a long time ago, it probably was, because half of us say we miss going to the mall, according to a new poll. 61% say they wish that they had a revival and would come back. See, I actually disagree with this, because I still go to the mall. I love going to the mall. I love walking around. But I only like to go by myself. I don't like to go with other people. I want to go where I want to go, and I want to leave when I'm done. But Gen Zers are actually the most likely to say that they would wish that there was a revival of the mall, a comeback, if you will. So maybe they're having a little FOMO of what the older generations did on a Saturday. Our favorite things that we miss about shopping malls are the convenience of having multiple stores in one spot, window shopping, the food court, and just walking around with your friends. The top reasons that we still go are to visit a certain store, if you want to actually try something on in person, to go to the food court, because there's a lot of times movie theaters in the malls. 6 in 10 Americans admit that they prefer shopping online now, though. So unless that changes, malls are in a tough spot. If they don't come back, what should they be turned into? The top vote getters were parks, community centers, apartments, or retirement homes.
I feel like there's one that turned into like a pickleball center to play pickleball inside the mall.
Yeah. Where was this?
I don't know. What's your mall now? And then what was your go-to? Because for me, like when I first moved out here, Boulevard Mall was like the mall. I was the same way as you. If I was doing shopping for myself, like clothes or something, I did not like shopping with buddies. I wanted to go by myself, go at my own pace. And that was like Friday after class. But then it was on the weekend, just like socializing. I love to go with a couple buddies, hit the food court, look at some music. But if it's just solo shopping, buying clothes myself, I had to be by myself.
Yeah, I go to, it depends on what I need, but like I love going to fashion show. I love going to downtown Summerlin. Those are the two that I go to the most. Before, when I was younger, it was Southwest Plaza in Littleton, Colorado, and that's where I worked too. So I not only went to the mall, but I worked at the mall. So that was always fun.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was like a freestanding store. So you're part of the mall rats vibe. That's cool.
Yeah, the department store I worked in, it was one of the anchors, and so I would go on my break and I walk out and go. You know, there was a baked potato place in the food court that I would always go to for lunch and get a baked potato. What was that? One potato two.
What was it
It
called?
was called One Potato Two.
I remember that in the 90s.
I always went to One Potato Two for lunch. And then when I was in college, it was the Crossroads Mall in Boulder, Colorado, and I worked at Mervyn's, which was one of the anchors there. So Like department stores, that was my jam, man.
What happened to this baked because that's all they serve was baked potatoes, right?
Yeah.
All the fixings, everything on top of it.
I always got just a baked potato with butter and sour cream, and that was it. Nothing else. They had like you could put barbecue on it, you could put like broccoli and all sorts of stuff, but I always just got a plain baked potato with sour cream and butter.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, baked potato bars, the popularity of the 80s and 90s.
I love that.
This Spuds for You is another popular one.
Oh my gosh, I never heard of that one. All right, finally this morning, want to sound smarter. It's easy. Just play dumb. According to a series of studies out of Harvard and UPenn, they say the best way to make people think you're smarter during small talk is by asking them for advice. And it's all because we're egomaniacs. The researchers found that when someone asks us for advice, we instantly assume that they're smart because they have that wisdom to recognize that we really know what we're talking about. So instead of rattling off your knowledge or your accomplishments, they say the best way to make someone think that you're a genius is to listen to their advice and ask sharp, relevant questions.
That is so good. So what time did you try it Tuesday?
8:20.
Thank you.
I think you're a genius now for asking me.
It is Tuesday. So yeah, it's coming up next hour. We do have Try It Tuesday. And how would you describe this one?
I feel like I don't want to say we go here often because there's always new inventions, new ways, but this is something we've done before, kind of, but in a completely different way. And I'm actually turned off by the color of it.
Oh,
I'm turned off by it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's
Oh,
not
boy.
blue, but it's bluish. we'll have Try It Tuesday coming up next hour.
Broadcasting live from the Finley Chevrolet Studios. This is KMXB FM and HD.
We'll just do the one song here. Keep us on time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely one song.
Well, we'll be back in 20 minutes, guys. So we'll see you then. Bye.